Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, I will call up to the stand Erica Fierro, our principal. She has some great things for us for the district spotlight.
Good evening, Superintendent Wiles, Board President Matrician, and the members of the Board of Education. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight as we celebrate the accomplishments of our students during our junior high February Reading Rumble competition. In the month of February alone, our students read an incredible 25,948 pages. This is a testament not only to their dedication, but to the culture of literacy we continue to build within our school community. The Reading Rumble consisted of two parts. First, a class versus class competition where each period worked together to read as many pages as possible. Students visited the library, checked out books, and engaged in reading across multiple languages, demonstrating that literacy truly is for everyone. One class, however, truly wrote their own chapter of success. With over 5,000 pages read, they set the bar incredibly high. At this time, I would like to recognize Miss Stubblefield and the members of her class. Miss Stubblefield? Miss Stubblefield embraced this competition wholeheartedly. She's very competitive, encouraging and motivating each of her students to actively participate. Her commitment helped foster a classroom environment where reading was not just an assignment, but a shared goal and a point of pride. So this is for Miss Stubblefield. I will say that as equally as competitive as Miss Stubblefield was her fifth period ELA class, the students were rewarded with a pizza party, and we're going to call those students up. So I ask you come shake Miss Stubblefield and I hand, and then go around and shake the board's hands. So our first certificate goes to Lincoln Sousa. Our second certificate goes to Amelia Sousa. Our next recipient is Emmett Rettenmeyer. Mila McQuillan. Braden Marks. Damian Hamill. Lucas Denman. These other students were unable to make it, but I just would like to read their names. Ricky Copeland, Ray Ann Earhart, Sofia Ferrada Nieves, Samaya Lane Valdez, Abner Lopez, Jahira Lopez, Riley Marshall, Ramel Perez Cardona, Eden Sabatier, Aiden Torres, Layla Torres, Juan Pablo Vaco Robledo, Sarah Michelle Castro Mesa, and that's Miss Subtlefield's 5th period class. In addition to our class competition, we also had students have an individual competition that they could partake at home. Our 3rd place winner was not able to make it here tonight, was Annalise Kiernan, and she read over 600 pages. Thank you. Our 2nd place independent reader is Annabelle Thomas Forbes, who read over 1,400 pages, an impressive accomplishment that reflects both perseverance and a strong commitment to learning. So Annabelle, if you could come up. And our 1st place independent winner is Shazia Zara, who read an outstanding 1,531 pages. This is a true indication of Shazia's drive and a clear marker of her academic success in the future. So these students remind us that reading is more than just a skill. It's a gateway of knowledge, imagination, and opportunity. Through reading, students build vocabulary, strengthen critical thinking, and expand their understanding of the world around them. We are incredibly proud of all of our students who participated in this challenge and demonstrated such dedication to literacy. Thank you for taking the time to recognize their hard work and celebrate their success with us tonight. Thank you.
Our regular meeting. I am sure you are more than welcome to stay. However, I doubt that you're going to want to. So please, if you want to stay, stay. If not, we appreciate you coming. Thank you very much. You're going to miss the budget presentation. I mean, we got some good stuff here. Yes. I may have to send you to the principal's office. All right, we'll move on our agenda for the a call for a motion for the acceptance of the minutes of the March 24th, 2026 meeting.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Call for a motion for the acceptance of the minutes of the March 19th, 2026 special meeting.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? No one? It is approved. Public forum for this evening. Nobody? Nobody on the public forum. We will then move on to our presentations for this evening. I call up to the podium Mrs. Tammy Conager and Miss Elaine Pfeffer Burns to talk about the senior class trip.
Hey, Lainey. How you doing?
Tammy.
Yeah.
So before I allow Mrs. Conacher to continue, I want to recognize the fact that she is going to be leaving us in a few short months to enjoy her retirement, but I want to salute her 31 years of dedicated service as a teacher to this district, so please give a round of applause to Mrs. Conacher. Mrs. Conacher, the podium is yours.
Thank you, and thank you for giving us this opportunity tonight to present the senior class trip. I'd like to begin by thanking our parents and students who have joined us here tonight to support the presentation. Thank you for coming out. I know it's a busy time of year for everybody. Looking back when I did this for 23, I said to you then, I'm not going to read it to you because I've sat through too many professional developments where it's been read to me, and I don't like it. And the Yankees started playing at 7 tonight, so I want to really move it along. Yeah, hey. So the senior class trip for the class of 2027 is planned for June 3rd through 6th of 2027, obviously. We plan to go to Virginia Beach and Williamsburg, Virginia. The trip will last 4 days and 3 nights. If you have to do it from the computer. And obviously, we've given you on page 2 there our goals, but senior trips, aside from just providing them with the excitement away from school, making memories, it's a chance to really have fun and build memories with your classmates. There's nothing like your senior trip. You might have been to Virginia Beach with your family, but it's a completely different experience getting to go with your peers. And I don't think anybody who's returned from a senior trip anywhere has ever felt regret in going. They've enjoyed every minute of it. Let's skip ahead just to safety and provision, because we will touch on all of that in the next slide after that. But just to give you and the parents the peace of mind, the motor coach transportation will be professional drivers. They will be vetted. That information will all be provided to the district. There will be chaperones. 4 of them are complimentary for up to 10 students, 1 per 10 per district policy. There will be extra hotel security, a structured schedule with group check-ins by the chaperones, and there will be lifeguards on duty at all Virginia beaches when we are there for those times. The trip highlights include the 4-day trip, 3 nights in a hotel, the 6 hours of security. All meals will be included, 3 breakfasts at the hotel, all lunches, which the class will pick up the cost of that. Dinner each night. One of the dinners includes a dinner cruise. The attractions that we will visit will include the Adventure Park at Virginia Aquarium, Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, 2 hours of wristbands, our first day there at the go-karts, visiting the beach, and a dolphin boat tour.
And I just want you to know, our kids are seeing this for the first time too, and I'm watching their faces, and their parents are seeing it. It's great.
It'll be a fun trip. A fun trip with everybody will be busy and having fun. The cost. Right now, this is the cost estimated on room occupancy, and that was on the next page. You'll see that. Looking at it, when I was looking at this and thinking back to 2023, obviously it's more than it was 3 years ago, but given our economy, it hasn't gone up as much as I thought it would, especially given the price of gas and everything else as well. I think the travel agent has tried to keep it well within the affordability of the school and our students. On the next page, it does give a breakdown of the cost of the trip, depending on whether you're in a quad, a triple, a double, or a single. And obviously, we encourage the kids all to take a quad because it is the cheapest route to go. And honestly, you don't spend that all that much time in the hotel room as it is. We're busy. On this page, please note, it does say first payment April 1st. Our presentation was scheduled for an earlier date, and we had to back it up, so we're just going to adjust that time frame. It'll just set us back a month as far as collecting payments. But we really would like to start this year collecting payments so that we can make it more affordable for the kids. They're not having to pay bigger lump sums their senior year. They can start paying now towards the trip. Obviously, the money in their individual accounts that they've built up through fundraising can be used towards paying for the trip. And they have all had the opportunity. We have been fundraising since their 7th grade year, an average of 7 to 8 fundraisers a year. So everybody's had ample opportunity to fundraise and build up their individual accounts.
And they've worked hard with that, and they've been amazing, and that's why we want to give them a great trip that they'll never forget.
No, I think, towards the end, we have included the senior trip insurance, which actually that was something we will share with the parents when we have the parent meeting with them. It's an additional trip insurance. It's been offered in the past for every other senior trip. It's an option that they have should something arise, an emergency, states, going off to states or playoffs, and they're unfortunately unable to make it. We're fingers crossed it worked out for us in 23 that everybody was able to go, and we want everybody to join us in 27. Do you have any questions for us at all?
First, thank you very much, Mrs. Conager. Any questions from the board in reference to this trip? Everybody satisfied? Lisa?
It looks like an amazing trip, for sure. It's pricey, and it bumps right up to our policy of $1,050. How do you anticipate that you'll get the participation to bring that price to within the policy, or 50 students apt to go?
I think given the size of the class and the interest that the kids have shown, the vote, that they've had a lot of say in the trip. A lot of them wanted to go to Florida, which was no, no, for so many reasons. So I think that being their aspiration, that this is something that they want to do, and it's more reasonable than some of the things that they were hoping for. You have your wish list, and you have your this is what we can really do. And given just knowing what their individual accounts look like for many of them, they're not going to have to absorb a lot of the cost because they have fundraised over the course of their time since 7th grade.
And I would say more than at least half of the cost.
Yes.
Their individual accounts.
They've already got it pretty covered.
Yeah. How many of you here think you have it covered so far?
They've been diligent, I have to say that, they've, for those who are passionate about this for their senior year, they've worked very hard to build up those accounts.
Yeah, just, we don't want to see kids shut out of it because it's unattainable and too pricey, so.
Absolutely.
It's good to hear that.
And that's also why we wanted to start this year with collecting payments so that they can start now.
So for the kid who might come up a little short in their account, the payments we're trying to make them smaller. And by starting sooner, we can work with the parents that if you don't have it right now, we can take it a few months later. Just so long as we have it by the end to pay the travel agent, we're good. But this gives us some flexibility to work with them as well, the parents.
Thank you.
You good, Lisa?
I am.
Okay. Anybody else? Since everybody is here, no sense of sending you away, I'm going to ask the board to indulge me in modifying the agenda and moving 10.3 senior class trip to the top of the agenda. Can I get a motion?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Therefore, under 10.3, senior class trip, resolved that the senior class of 2027 be granted permission to travel to Virginia Beach in Williamsburg, Virginia on June 3rd, 2027 through June 7th, 2027 for their senior class trip.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. Jody.
I believe the dates are June 3rd through the 6th, not the 7th as it says on the agenda.
Yes, that was pointed out. It is the 3rd through the 6th, the Thursday through Sunday.
So if you can modify the agenda.
Can we modify, can we just take that off? Is it, maker of the motion, is it good with you to change that to June 6th?
It was me, yes.
Maker of the motion is good. How about the second?
Second.
Thank you. Modified to June 3rd through June 6th, 2027 for the senior class trip. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Have a great time.
Have fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As I said for everybody else, we're having a budget meeting. You're certainly more than welcome to stay, or you can have a mass exodus. Hey, Debbie, how are you? Good night. There you go. Aye. Good night. Thank you, Mrs. Bruce and Mrs. Lasan, for staying. We would have had nobody left in the audience. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will move on to our final budget overview. I think Mrs. Schwal is very excited to give it to our final. Go ahead.
Okay, so welcome back to the 5th budget presentation. So for the 26-27 proposed budget is $71,634,079, a increase of 4.41% over the 25-26 budget, which equates to $3,026,307. The proposed tax levy increase for next year is increased in $1,193,036, or 4.07%, which is at the tax cap limit. And the total proposed tax levy will be $30,511,380. The next slide shows the 3-part components. The administrative component, which makes up roughly 13% of the budget, is $9,233,424. The program component is 75% of the budget, which is $54,040,973, and the capital component is roughly 12%, which equates to $8,359,682. If the budget is defeated on May 19th, we'll have to go to a contingent budget, which we would have to decrease the proposed budget by $1,232,536, bringing it down to $70,401,543. And the next slide just shows the voter information again. You can click on, there's a website for the Ulster County Board of Elections to see if you're registered. You must be 18 years old, live in the district for the past 30 days, and be a citizen of the U.S. If you're unable to make it here in this room on May 19th, you can pick up an absentee ballot in the district clerk's office between 8 and 4 every Monday through Friday, and it must be mailed back 7 days prior to the budget vote. If you are interested in running for the board, with the Board of Education, petitions to to nominate candidates for the school board to be picked up by the district clerk, again, between 8 and 4, beginning April 6th and returned by April 20th. And just a reminder that the budget vote is on May 19th between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. here in this room.
Any questions on the budget?
Can I make a comment?
Yes.
Just so we're all aware, the state budget has not been passed. So we are working on the governor's proposal right now, and hopefully we'll have the final number sooner than later. Historically, the governor's proposal on state aid is always a little less than we get. So there's been some discussion about some additional foundation aid coming. There will definitely be changes in some of the laws and regulations with regard to things that might impact the school, but not directly on state aid. So this is a important time to keep your ears open and just, you know, stay attuned to what's going on with regard to the state budget negotiations. And we will adopt the budget to put up to the voters at the next meeting on April 21st. That's the last opportunity we'll have. And we had the state budget been passed, we might have adopted tonight, but we're going to wait and see, you know, where we are to see if there has to be any adjustments. We don't anticipate any, but, you know, the state budget's still an outlying factor in all of this.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Wall? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Move on to reports and correspondence. For myself, I have nothing. Board membership? Nothing. We'll move on to our trustee student representative, Mr. Jack Henry.
Good evening, everyone. So for happenings and events, the National Honor Society is sponsoring their annual Battle of the Classes. This week, all grades from 7 through 12 will compete in activities, participate in spirit days, and cap off the week with a pep rally. Each grade has a Disney movie representing the grade, as this was the category all grades voted for the Battle of the Classes event, and they will each earn points in a fun-filled week of school spirit. The New York State assessments for grades 3 through 8 will take place on April 22nd and the 23rd. Grades 3 through 6 will take the ELA examination, while the 7th and 8th graders will take the math examination. The New York State School Music Association's NISMA Solo Festival competition will take place on April 17th. Students who are participating rehearse an instrumental and or vocal solo to perform in front of a NISMA certified judge. This will be taking place at Kingston High School, and we wish our eligible musicians the very best of luck. The 22nd Annual College Biology Symposium took place on March 25th and 26th in the High School Media Center. Mrs. Schoonmaker, who teaches the collegiate course through SUNY, also requires students to practice their public speaking in front of an audience while presenting research projects, which is part of the required curriculum of the course. Research projects were based on current events in biology, including RNA, nanotechnology, cryptid species, the influence between language and the brain, and how DNA can be found in Leonardo da Vinci works. The students worked hard on the projects, and Mrs. Schoonmaker told me that they were interesting, creative, and she was proud of her entire class. And another tradition in the school is the annual Heat for Sons faculty basketball game, sponsored by the Elmville Junior Senior High School Student Council. This took place the Thursday before break, and the game was highly entertaining, and the entire district came together to support. While the Elementary Sons beat the Junior Senior High School Heat 82-80 in a close but highly contested game in overtime, the biggest win above all is that all proceeds from concessions, a raffle, face paint, and more rounded out to be $1,225, which would later be donated to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. For athletics, the girls' golf team had their first match today at home against Red Hook. The varsity track and field teams have their first meet tomorrow in Highland, which will begin at 4:15. The varsity baseball team has 2 away games this week to start the season. They play Highland on Thursday and Eldred on Friday. Both games will start at 4:15. Their home opener is next Monday against Spack&Kill. And finally, for athletics, the varsity softball team's first game is also on Thursday. Like the baseball team, they will be on the road in Highland, and their game will also begin at 4:15. For fundraisers, the class of 2026 will be beginning their discount card fundraiser, and the Spanish Honor Society will be beginning their Gertrude Hawk chocolate bar fundraiser.
Thank you. Move on to our superintendent, Lisa Wiles.
Just a couple of things this evening. I just want to remind the board that this Thursday, Ulster County BOCES will be holding its annual meeting at iPark at 6 o'clock. If anyone wants to, add on this week, let us know as soon as possible. And I also am really happy to say that the venue is open to our student representatives this year. So Jack and Elna expressed some interest in going. They're going to confirm with us tomorrow. So exciting that that's been opened up to our board reps. I put this in my report, but I want to mention it. At the next meeting, we'll have our valedictorian and salutatorian be recognized. And really kudos to our valedictorian, Josh Lavrador. He's been accepted to Harvard. So he'll be here with Scott Ramos, who's the salutatorian, just to be recognized for their accomplishments. That's
Thank
all
you.
I have this
What an
evening.
accomplishment.
Huge.
Huge. Move on to our school business administrator, Ms. Susanna Schwal. Okay, thank you.
Can I just point out one thing in Sue's report? Sorry. The final renderings for the turf field are in her report. So the construction committee has to make a couple of quick decisions. We just ask you to stay after the meeting to take a look at that and one other thing.
Thank you. Move on to our Deputy Superintendent, Kelly White.
I don't have anything for this evening.
Thank you. Assistant Superintendent for Personnel Curriculum, Scott Prokash.
I also do not have anything this evening.
Thank you. We'll move along to our personnel resolutions under 7.1. Upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that the 2026 budget vote election inspectors be appointed as needed at a rate of $280 per day worked as follows. List has been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Jewel Extension Agreement. Resolved that the Board of Education, the Ellenville Central School District, accepts the terms stated in the Jewel Agreement dated March 25th, 2026, between the district and employee number 2982, and upon such terms, extends the probationary period through close of business August 31st, 2027, assuming it's been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Resignation 7.3. Upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved the resignation of Ashante Hicks, security attendant, be accepted effective immediately.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 7.4. Substitute personnel. Upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, be resolved the following substitute personnel be appointed for the 25-26 school year. List has been moved. Seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 7.5, P-TECH Open House. Upon the recommendation of the Superintendent of Schools, be resolved the following teachers be approved to work on May 6, 2026, not to exceed 1 hour for open house at their hourly rate.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
So, Madam Superintendent, this is open house for the P-TECH program?
Yes, every year we have an open house for students that might be interested in joining the P-TECH program the following year. So it's informational for students, and the teachers are there to answer any questions that parents and students might have. So it's an annual event, and it is covered by the P-TECH grant.
Understood. What type of turnout do we typically see at
I
that
think we
open
see
house?
a decent turnout. We can get you the numbers for that, of who has, but, considerable number of students and parents that come.
That's good news.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. Under 8.1, student IEPs, be it resolved that attached list of student IEPs be acknowledged as appropriate. There are 14.
Move the list.
List has been moved. Seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 8.2, award. Is it my understanding we want to table this?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded to table this motion. It will be brought forward on our next agenda. Back to the table for approval.
I'll contact the donor about the criteria and what the expectations are with regard to what he put in with with the district as far as payback of students later on. So I'll get more details.
All those in favor of tabling 8.2? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Somebody want to move the construction resolutions?
Mr. President, I'd like to move 9, 1, 2, 4, and 5, please.
9.1 to 9.5. There's been moved and
No,
seconded?
Mr. President.
Sorry.
1, 2.
Correction, 1, 2, 4, and 5.
You do not want to move 3.
I do not want to move 3.
Okay, so the motion is for 1, 2, 4, and 5. Thanks for the correction.
Thank you.
It's seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. We will entertain a motion for 9.3. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second,
Second, thank you. Discussion.
I'd just like to understand the origin behind this particular charge. Reading the back of documentation, it appears as though it was an alternate provided at the time of bid that should have been included in the price. Just like to learn a bit more about how that transpired. And granted, it's a relatively small amount of money, but
Anybody can answer that, or do we have to table it and have our architects?
I'd like to just get clarification from the architects
okay.
and construction manager specifically about it. I'm not sure if the alternate was put out with the bid to see if we came in under budget or over budget, or if it was necessary. So before I don't want to misspeak, so Ms. Sushwal will get the information for us
Okay.
and report back.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Thank
And
you,
we
Mr.
have
President.
time to approve this, right?
Thank you, Mr.
Table,
Yeah.
or?
Motion to table.
We have a motion on the floor as it is. We want to now motion to table 9.3. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Seconded to table 9.3. It'll appear on our next agenda. Any further discussion? All those in favor of tabling the motion? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 10.
Motion to move 10-1 through 10-3.
10.3 has already been approved. I just
Oh,
need
sorry.
10.1 and
10-1
10.2.
and 10-2, pardon me.
10.1 and 10.2 has been moved. Do I have a second? Second? Discussion?
How many snow days did we use this year
We used 8 snow days this year.
of the allotted?
There were 6 allotted plus the 3 additional that brought us down to 181 days. And technically, the teacher's contract calls for 183. We were at 181 because those 3 extra days are used if we get stuck with snow. So we used 8 of the 9.
Wow. Have there been any additional mandated holidays from the state?
Not yet, but you never know what's going to come during when the budget's passed.
Sure.
So we'll see. I don't anticipate that. I know on this calendar, just so you know, the Asian Lunar New Year in January is actually, I believe, on a weekend next year, and so is Juneteenth. Since Juneteenth is a Saturday, we don't have a recognized day on that Friday or Monday, but when Juneteenth's on a Sunday, we're mandated to have the Monday off. So next year, this doesn't impact. I know, same thing with New Year's. That's just the way the calendar falls. So those are 2 days that, 2 additional days we have for snow days in the calendar that we want in. So.
Excellent. Okay.
And we are starting with the teachers, just to point out, prior to Labor Day, if you notice that. So the students are going to come in. The first day of school is usually Thursday after Labor Day, and our 2 superintendent conference days are that Monday, Tuesday. But we're allowed, the contract allows us to start on September 1st. So we're going to have the teachers in Tuesday and Wednesday, September 1st, and then the students come in on September 8th.
Gotcha. Thank you, Madam Superintendent. Thank you, Mr. President.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries for approval of 10.1, 10.2. Mark your calendars. Our next meeting is April 21st, 2026. And we will be having our BOCES budget adoption and our regular Board of Education meeting. Is there anything anyone wants to see on the next agenda?
I'd like an update on, do we still have the today's students, tomorrow's teachers program?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can get you an update by the next meeting, but we'll put it on the list.
Thank you.
Been struggling a little bit with the program, and we're having discussions with TSTT, Dr. Perkins, about the consistency of their staff here. So we don't want to lose the program, but there's been some discussions. There's been a big turnover on their side of who's here working with our staff. It's been a little frustrating, but we will get you the information.
Thank you, Madam Superintendent.
Yep.
So your calendars are marked. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? We're adjourned.